Hello, everybody.
And welcome to Instant Finish.
Yeah, we have just instantly listened to the brand new 13th Doctor story, Vampire Weekend.
We have, our guest hasn't.
And we are joined by Dylan Reese to talk about
Hello, wonderful to be here.
Welcome to our first instant guest.
Is that right? Am I the first instant guest?
You are, yes.
Oh, wow, I feel
unprecedented.
I mean, I basically forced my way onto this podcast. I was with Joe the other night and he was like, it's out on Thursday. I was like, can I do an instant finish on it? And Joe was like, very kindly, yes, you can. So,
yeah.
Well, the thing is only we live in this house, so usually we do listen to it and then do the recording. But you just happen to be free tonight.
Exactly.
Well, it's a momentous occasion.
Well, for us, it is. It's Jodie. Hello.
It's very exciting. I finished listening to it about 3 or 4 hours ago, and I went on a wander around the shops. Now, I'm in Prague. I'm working in Prague, and you may think, oh, what exotic shops did he walk around? Tesco, Marks and Spencer's, Lush. It was like the H&M, the most British shop. So I was, bringing in the British big finishness by osmosis.
Well, yeah, this is the first story of what are they doing, like 12, 13?
12, over 2 years.
Over 2 years, one every other month. This one is written by Tim Foley, directed by Ken Bentley.
We love Foley, don't we?
So very excited. I mean, when we heard it was Tim Foley, we were like, yeah, this is going to be great.
How unusual for Nicholas Briggs to not open a new Doctor Strange.
I knew you were going to say that.
Spectacular success of The Ravagers and Destination Nerva.
No, but we don't know the writers for the rest of it, do we? It's like they're literally announcing them. They're doing it as like a bi-monthly series, as you said. And it's like, we don't know they didn't show the cover or the writer of the next one until today. So that's quite exciting.
You think they'll keep doing that? I
hope so, especially with no new Doctor Who on the telly. Like, it'll be quite nice to have sort of this reoccurring series, but a series where we genuinely don't know whether there's a Dalek episode, a Sontaran episode, who's writing it. Like, that's really quite exciting.
And that's a new name writing next month.
I know.
That really excites me.
Yeah, it is very exciting. Oh, new blood. Really exciting. The episode's called Return of the Doctor.
Well, hang on, I've got to ask you a question, because I know you sort of dip your toes in and out of Big Finish, but this was your first pre-order for many a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, the last pre-order I did was Tom Baker Series 5, I want to say. The one that ended with Return to Telos. And after that, I was
my God.
And I have obviously bought Big Finish since then, but nothing's been an instant pre-order since that moment, because I like to, see what other people say, and because I just got burnt a few too many times. So I was like, let's see what the reviews say, what people whose opinions I respect say, and then I'll go and buy it, and then I'll dip in. But I'm just not gonna. I very rarely pre-order, but this was a must for me.
Well, I'm excited to hear what we all think. I mean, do you want to just let us know, give us an indication?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I had a great time. I thought it was lots of fun. I think it treads this weird ground of sort of, it felt very like the era in some ways, but there's just something that's like, there's something just a little bit more classic series Doctor Who about it. And I can absolutely see there'll be a bunch of people out there going, oh, this is what Jodie Whittaker would have been like if she'd been written for properly. And what they mean is Base Under Siege. But overall, I had a fantastic time.
I do wonder as well, though, if the Jodie fans then will be automatically reacting, going, this isn't like what we expected. This isn't the Doctor Who that we love. I thought this was quite a nice hybrid between Chibbers, because Jodie and Mandip were so spot on.
Yeah.
And their Jodie as the agent of chaos, and Mandip trying to contain her was just comic gold. And for me, it felt more like an RTD story with lots of relatable contemporary characters, and some nice music in it, and lots of cultural references and things like that. But I thought it really worked well, like energy and humor and great twists. It was a really fun note to start on.
Yeah, it was that fun RTD season opener, not too heavy, just a fun sort of little whodunit. Yeah, really great. Yeah, I mean, 50 minutes, it just flew by.
We won't spoil who done it, but it's a fucking great answer.
Yes, that was part of the fun because we were guessing. We were like, "Do you think it's them? Do you think it's them?"
I was convinced it was going to be Daryl.
Yeah,
but no, I was wrong.
I sort of got it right. I did guess. I went, "It's going to be that, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Oh, well, we both said at one point it's going to be the Doctor or Yaz. That's going to be the twist, you know. So it does.
I did wonder, but then I thought, would they make for this first one of them, not them? But I thought, I mean, the whodunitness, the base under siege or the house under siege sort of thing. It's a fairly well trodden trope, but because Chibnall was taking a different approach on TV, there almost hasn't been a story as trad as this in that run. So I think it's a good way of easing people in who. I mean, look, if you're not on board with Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor or a woman as a Doctor, you're never going to like anything anybody does with it, even if they resurrect Robert Holmes from the dead and get it to write 425 minutes. But I think this is a little bit more of an in for people who perhaps didn't like the tone of the Chibnall era. It takes the two characters and absolutely keeps them the same. But as you say, it's a bit RTD1. It's a little bit classic series, and it just sort of matches them together to make a very accessible version of Doctor Who. And you could broadcast this on the radio, and a bunch of people who had never seen the Jodie Whittaker era could jump in and go, okay, I get what this is.
I've got a feeling it's going to be like a wildly experimental couple of years with the two of them. And it won't be this tone all the way through.
No.
But as a way in, I mean, like that 55 minutes flew by.
Yeah.
And because the Doctor and Yaz was just so funny together, like, you could have them do anything in this series and I will listen, because it's like they have stepped from the end of Power of the Doctor last week to this week being in that booth, and it's just instant, that chemistry.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a massive big storyline or anything. It wasn't like
that's good
Ravagers or anything like that.
Well, we might have a bit of that later.
Yeah, but just as an opener, and they're probably thinking we're going to get new listeners on board because we have this Doctor.
Yeah,
I think they played it really well.
I've seen some of the comments coming out today, and it seems to have gone down really well. So I think you're right. This is a good sort of in for people that are going, oh, should I spend a tenner on this? Yeah.
But at the same time, only a tenner. It's not a £40 box set, so, you know.
That's the thing. I was thinking if this was a box set, it might just be that sort of second story in the three that you're like, oh, yeah, it's okay. But I think also because, it's that, they've started this out as a series and everybody's getting this just one story, I think maybe that's elevated it a little bit more. It might have been a forgettable one if it was in a...
like in the way that the main range used to be an event thing, one story a month for those first whatever years it was. That it feels like that again now. Now we'll all be waiting for the next Jodie in 2 months. Oh my God, what's it going to be? What's she going to be up to this time?
I'm a little disappointed I've got to wait 2 months, to be honest. I don't want it all now, but I don't know why I thought we were getting one a month or whatever, but it's an exciting time, an exciting way to release things. I know it's a very traditional way, but I think as people experiment, whether you're a streamer, whether you're Big Finish, experiment with different ways of dropping things, there is still an audience, or at least me, that is like, next month or 2 months' time, I'm going to be here ready, waiting for this.
And a shout out to Jeff Cockrell from Who Corner to Corner, who posted today, fuck what's happening with the TV series. I've got Jodie Whittaker for the next I don't care about the TV series anymore.
I mean, it's great because then next month is the Christopher Eccleston series, which I'm excited about in the same way.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So it's going to be like, every month.
It's Eccleston and Piper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to pre-order that after this then. Right. I'm in.
Yeah.
New series nostalgia.
What's really refreshing is, and I see, this isn't a dig at Bricks, this is every range. Every time they bring in a new Doctor, they try and do something big and epic. And, like, oh my God, this is the biggest threat this Doctor's ever faced. And it never is. And it's always limp. And whereas they just went in on a laugh for this range, I just think that's such a savvy move.
Well, there's a slight hint that maybe a story arc.
Oh, and again, the tourists,
yeah, and I think that's exciting. Like, there's obviously something there, and they'll thread it throughout these 12 stories. And I imagine release number 6, there'll probably be a bit of a cliffhanger or something to want to come back. And that's really exciting stuff. So, I mean, what a joy.
But the funniest bit of the whole thing was the fact that we've got a new Vilma from Ultimate Five in Gina's mum, who kept going, boo boo, boo boo, just the way Vilma goes, Benny! Oh my God, I was cracking. And when the doctor suddenly went, I said, what did she say? When she went, foot bath. I was like, I thought she swore. It was so funny. It was really funny.
It was really funny. It reminded me of, do you remember we had that first series of Tom Baker and we're like, oh God, this isn't very good. And then the antimatter dropped and there was just like a sigh of relief that it was like, oh look, this is not exactly how I remember this version of the show, but it's just having fun with itself. And like, I've been missing these two people, this doctor, this amount of fun. It was just, it was a joy.
And you've only got to look at that interview on the Big Finish put out today between it. I mean, they're fucking crackers, the pair of them. It's like Tom Baker giving an interview. Every question they ask them, and then they just suddenly start talking about text messages and all sorts. Like, the interview goes, hello, I'm here,
I mean, it's so much fun. We've not heard the behind-the-scenes interviews on the CD.
It's going to be chaos.
Which usually, I mean, they're usually exactly the same. But for this pair, I definitely want to hear the behind-the-scenes stuff every time.
Jodie tells the story of how she got into acting and how she knew she was always going to be an actress and all the hard work she put in, and tells us like a 10-minute story, and then she goes, yeah, beat that, Mandip. Mandip's like, yeah, I just wanted to do it, great. Wow.
So, I mean, give it a try, everybody.
I do have one complaint.
Go on.
I didn't like the music.
I did like the music.
I was going to say, this is the first time that I have enjoyed the music.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, that's probably I really like Seigen Akinola's music, and if you're not going to get him, then I understand why you go for something different. But the music for me, the music was fine, it was good music, but there was something about it that really jarred with me for this Doctor. It's the only complaint I've got.
It's a tone, isn't it, Seigen Akinola?
Yeah.
Like, there's an ambience to his music, which I know what you mean. Like, you hear it and you just think it's the 13th Doctor's era straight away. And this, again, the music felt more RTD, I'd say 2, actually. Sort of bang up. There was a lot of guitar playing and stuff like that.
Well, I enjoyed it because it wasn't the usual Big Finish type of music.
Oh.
I couldn't tell you what the TV music would be. It's not my thing. I was just like, oh, this is a little bit different to what Big Finish usually do. That's why I liked it. So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's, again, the music wasn't bad. I think it's, I think I've just got to get used to it. It's a bit like going into season 18 and losing Dudley Simpson and suddenly going, oh, there's all these synths, and your immediate reaction is like, no, this is all wrong. But actually, there's some cracking scores in season 18. So
maybe they'll experiment with the musicians as well. Do you know one thing I really realised with this is I've always thought of it like the 13th Doctor's era, right? The Doctor. But actually, it's the 13th Doctor and Yaz's era, isn't it? Because she's there from the beginning to the end. And I can't imagine them taking Mandip out and just having Jodie.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want that. I mean, if they do the odd story where they're split up, fine. But I just don't know whether... I think they come as a pairing.
They do, yeah.
I don't want to talk into herself like Sylvester McCoy does.
She talks to herself all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true.
But great fun.
A very good start, and we're excited to see where this goes. Hopefully the momentum keeps up.
What's the next one called?
I don't know, it's got like an armadillo
thing on the front. The Return of the Doctor or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's not Jo Martin, is it? They've got her as well,
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe Jo Martin won't show up in this range at some point.
Or Dewan. Do you reckon Sacha Dewan might as well?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like for the Daleks not to, but I think they're going to give Nick Briggs some work in this series. So.
And I think that Colin Baker's contractually obliged to show up in the series. He
loves Jodie, doesn't he? He loves her.
That is my one thing for these.
Do you know what I would love to see? I want to see River meet her and Yaz get jealous.
Oh,
I think there's a good story to be told there.
That would be good. We're going to get something like that, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. We're going to get one of those things.
So obvious. I'd be surprised if Big Finish didn't do that,
we're all on podcasts slagging off all the combinations Big Finish did. And a series comes on that we're like, put the Crotons in it. Put the Crotons in it.
When's Jackie Tyler showing up? Come on. Actually, Jackie and Jodie, come on.
I mean, it'll either be Colin Baker, or I would love if they somehow got a bit of Tom Baker in there. I mean, I don't know if
they'll do
because they've got this Doctor.
Yeah.
They're going to try something like that. It would be...
Just please spare us Jodie meeting the Big Finish original monsters, all right? I don't want Jodie meeting the Eminence or the Virons or any of those bullshit monsters.
I don't know. I think we'll get the 11 or something like that at some point. I don't know.
What's quite refreshing about this series is the usual creatives. Matt Fitton's script editing, but is being produced by some fresh people. So the usual creatives that have been churning out a lot of stuff over the last 10 years aren't involved. So there's a chance this might be something quite new.
But yeah, I would be happy if we didn't have any of that as well. I mean, I don't know. Any old stuff, or if it was all completely new stuff.
I also think I'm with you, but I also think they got them. They don't know whether they'll get them forever. There's no guarantee that all these Doctors will keep coming back, because they're still very much in the midst of their careers. Whereas the older Doctors, they're pretty much retired apart from Big Finish and Cons. So it's a bit like, if you've only got them, you don't know whether you'll get them again. You're gonna do something, Yeah.
I'd lay money that Bradley Walsh will do one, because he bloody loved working with a pair of them. I bet you could be in there somewhere.
You're toasting coal, doesn't
it? That's what he'd be like on audio. I got chip stool.
But anyway, just to bring it back to Vampire Weekend, it's a great start, and hopefully it continues like this.
And our love affair with Tim Foley continues, because I do think his instinct to keep this light was a real problem.
100%.
Wow.
Well, there we are. Well, that's our...
We love Jodie Whittaker.
We do.
Instant finish on
it. We fucking talk about these days, isn't it?
There we are. Well, let's do...
How do we end it?
Well, we will end it.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to...
As we always do.
Dylan, you've got to say it with us. And you have to say finish instantly, all right?
Okay, right. Just checking.
Okay. Well, everybody, don't forget to...
Finish instantly.